Hello, hello! Hello, Corvus Korak. Time for some more Battle Brothers. Streaming earlier than normal, but we'll also conclude the stream earlier. But I wanted to sneak one in, because, you know, there's always time for some Battle Brothers. Okay. Last we left off, I had recruited a fresh... Here he is, Eagledub. Oops, all guns. We recruited another gunner. And why not? Guns are fun. We'll definitely have to work on getting him experience very fast, given that it's day 68 and, you know, I'm thinking this team can probably, if I wanted to, and there's no obligation to do so, but I could probably do Monolith faster than normal. Seems like it could be fun. Disbanded troops, rebuilding effort. Did I not notice that Cell A previously? I must not have. Those are often a very good purchase when you've got a lot of nimble bros. I feel like I should buy that Cell A. We doing Monolith on the stream? No, we won't be doing it on this stream. We're not quite there yet. We did just get the Armor of the Idjarok and Helmet of the Idjarok last stream though. Rest in peace, XJI7. I think this run, I do plan on doing both Library and Goblin City, partially just to demonstrate that they can be done, and actually should be done pretty comfortably with this particular squad of bros. We know where the Sunken Library is. It's this little dot right here. We did not find Goblin City, so we'll have to make another pass through the wilderness to find it. Patrol the road to Elsliv, Grunenberg, Bram, and return to Bramaborg. Let's see, Elsliv, what was the second one on that list? It was Gronenberg. So over there, that could be a nice contract to take. We can explore the northern wilderness that we would have wanted to do anyway. We'll have to remain somewhat on task to get back in the requisite 5 days. But that should be just fine. Yeah, let's do it. Sure. I don't mind those patrol contracts if they are a direction that would make sense to go anyway. It'd be nice here in the north to get some more barbarian throwing weapons. Yeah. So let's go to these barbarian tents, bust this, and then head east from there. We won't be able to reposition really in any meaningful way because of Final Overdrive's current leg condition. But he can still fight just fine. XGI 8 here is going to need a little TLC as well. Okay. But we did treat their injuries, so they should recover here within a couple days. It'll probably be nighttime when we arrive. Found a couple random spears. You'll love to see it. A Slurgy classic. All right. So defeating another mercenary company. This is one of those ambitions that I swear as soon as I select this, I will not find any on the map. We are currently at war with one noble faction. We'd like to keep it probably just at the one, I'm thinking. But this is a decent one. 25 trade goods takes a bit too long. And then, you know, is also keeping us hopping between cities, which realistically we're gonna get the best progression of our squad by going far from civilization, so we don't want to do that. And then this one, have 12 items crafted from beast trophies. It's not bad, but that can take a while as well. So I think we'll just do defeat another mercenary company. Oh, what a sad camp. Some thralls and a few warhounds. Not the best use of the training that we just put on EELI, but that's okay. Quality gameplay. Hello, Choppy Cat. We provide only the highest quality of gameplay here in Slurgy Land. Which, you know, could be like the worst theme park in the world. Whipped him. Whipped him again. Oh, I suppose they're running, huh? Well, how many dogs we got? How much risk to the dogs would it be to have them chase him down? Probably not too much. I may not have enough dogs to really do this well. We'll see. Hey, Manifest Destiny's Child, how's it going? Alright, we got one dog on each. We need to collect these heads. Early stream? Yeah! I'm starting earlier, and actually we'll have to end earlier than normal. I'm gonna watch a movie later with my wife, so... And it's really warm out today, so we're gonna take the dogs on a later walk than normal. And so the stars have aligned. Signed off work a little earlier than normal as well. And, you know, I'm here to play some Battle Brothers. Hey, Cold Doge, Cold Dog, Cold Doge. Probably none of those are correct, but hello. Little doggy, maybe? But yeah, I'll be streaming at an earlier than normal time. Cold OG could also be that. But then what is the E at the end? Maybe the E is silent. Who could even ever know? All right, we got another level from Blackfire here. We'll be following in the footsteps of Offa. You made up your name, any version is correct. I say the same thing about people. Sometimes they'll say my name and they'll be like Slurgy or Slurgy? I'm not sure. And again, it's made up. And so, however you want to say it's fine with me. All right, we're definitely going to want to patch some hit points. So even though it's a +3, we're going to take that here. And we don't have to follow exactly in Offa's footsteps. We can do something a bit different with Blackfire, and in fact may want to do something a bit different because one of them is going to be given Lone Wolf that we're going to probably not use at all until Black Monolith. but we can be 1 perk down and it'll be just fine. That shield bro looking unkillable, that's the idea. That's the goal, that's the dream, that's the hope. And so, if it is the case that I want Blackfire to be the lone wolf isolated tank for Black Monolith, then I think that means, so I know I need underdog. Oh, and for the record, I plan on using, where is that particular named shield? Is that not this? Hopefully it didn't get destroyed, did it? Did I not have a named shield? Here it is, yeah. If I use this particular named shield, then with a second wind potion, I can just shield wall spam each turn, which will be good enough. Anyway. What was I saying? Oh yeah, so on this particular bro, if I'm going to have them do that, we know they need to have underdog. We know they're going to have lone wolf. And I think with this level of resolve, even if we pump this up, that's not high enough, even with the bonus from lone wolf. And so let's get Fort Mind. And yeah, we'll definitely need to get a resolve trinket of some form for Monolith, but that's fine. Between the resolve trinket and Fort Mind and lone wolf, and hopefully a few more stat points put into resolve, we should be okay. But I suppose that means this particular bro will not get fearsome, and that's fine. Ain't no problem with that. Oh, and did I? Wait a minute. I talked about purchasing that Saleh and didn't do it? And didn't do it. Do I go back for it? Kind of want to. Whoops. Hopefully it's still there. Should be. Can't imagine the vendor reset in that time period. Have I checked out the Reforge mod? Not yet. Not yet. I was thinking of doing it though. Considering doing it on stream and considering making that the I guess maybe an intermission in my run series. I'm not sure. You bought like 4 Salehs on your current run? Yeah. They're really good. I'm letting it cook a little. I mean, I'm a natural skeptic. I'm hopeful. I want it to be good. I do. I like the ideas that they're going at it with. There are some things that give me pause, just a little bit, that I've seen so far. And I do think that the balance is harder to get right than most people imagine. That said, I want it to be good, and I do plan on checking it out. Let's see, so who do I want to put the Saleh on? I think you need to approach it like it's a different game. Yeah, I think that I agree. I think the idea is to approach it as a game that is like Battle Brothers, but probably actually fundamentally quite different. I think that'll be a healthy and more enjoyable way to see it. But if anyone has any other ideas, like if you've tried it and think I should see it differently, then let me know. Could buy a Rondell here. Not a terrible idea. Always kind of nice to have those for daggering down knights and other such things. We don't really need to dagger down enemies for armor at all anymore, really? So maybe I don't care about buying the Rondell? Still kind of nice for certain situations. No, last stream I was on day 65. It apparently was not a very lengthy stream. I guess there's also a fighting spear here I could purchase. counts as the Have You Tried Legend Square for playing bingo. It's very reminiscent, isn't it? Yeah. I mean, it's the current, you know, exciting thing in the world of Battle Brothers. I get it. I'm excited too. Skeptical, but excited. Let's get the rondelle. I don't know. It's fun to have them. It's fun to have pointier sticks than normal. Why skeptical? I'm skeptical because not skeptical because of, like, you know, I've seen red flags or anything like that. I'm skeptical because I'm just really picky about games giving good experiences that are interesting to keep developing strategically. I've played so many games in my life that appear strategically interesting, or they like build themselves as a strategy game, but then they immediately become uninteresting and boring. Like there's some way to break them that's too easy to execute, and so that to me is just not fun. Toxic Hog hid my silverware drawer. Well, I've got my silver bowl right here. Butter knife, letter opener. Well, that's why you gotta fight the witch hut. But hey, if we're gonna talk about the letter opener, we can't be making Slay the Spire references. There's no bingo square for that. Let's see. Final Overdrive can't reposition easily, but it would be nice to have everyone back up and sort of reposition a little bit. So you're skeptical that you wouldn't find a way to... No, I'm skeptical that I will. I mean, I guess either way, right? But what I mean is, like, I'm worried that I'll be able to cheese it. Maybe is a better way of putting that. I don't like cheesing games. I don't find that fun, like, at all. Ever played any bad strategy RPGs? You have? Yeah, I mean, that's, yeah. Boy, I know yes, Triangle Strategy. Triangle Strategy, if you liked it, ignore what I'm about to say. I don't want to take away anyone's enjoyment. I thought it was like the worst, shallowest, crappiest, most disappointing game I've ever played. And I finished it on the hardest difficulty begrudgingly, and I hated every second. So anyway, but if you liked it, you know, I'm happy for you. You thought the same thing about Banner Saga? See, I haven't tried Banner Saga. I am excited about the idea of Banner Saga just because the composer, oh shoot, what's his name? Anyway, I really like the composer. Like the music composer. His name escapes me at the moment. I follow him on Twitter. He's a delightful person. Catal doing work there. You liked it mostly for the narrative and gameplay was interesting and fun enough to keep you engaged. Now, is that referring to Banner Saga or Triangle Strategy? Banner Saga? Okay. Because I would struggle to find anyone who could find the narrative and gameplay of triangle strategy compelling whatsoever. And I am a little salty about it because I was just so excited about the game, and I don't have a Switch, but I borrowed a friend's Switch and then just like bought the game on his Switch just to play it, and it was terrible. Just terrible. Anyway, one of the things that I worry about is like something I see from Legends. Again, if you enjoy Legends, all the more power to you. But anything that can do any sort of AP abuse must be treated with utmost care. Yeah, well, you know, I just want to mean, yeah, well, I struggle to see how anyone could like it, but obviously some people do. Hard to pick my lane, I realize, but like, in Triangle Strategy, I played on the hardest difficulty, but most missions, unless they had like a really specific objective, you could use a character called, I think Jans was his name. It was like the blacksmith? I don't know, whatever. He would lay traps, and you would just literally run in circles around the map, laying traps above like ladders, and enemies would step on the trap and then fall and take damage. And you couldn't engage in combat because you were so outnumbered on the hardest difficulties, but I just ran as a group in one circle while Jans killed literally everyone in most missions, and it was stupid. AP abuse is rampant in Legends, both you and your enemies. 12 AP. See, that's the thing, is like when you have 12 AP, you can move further. So like, you can attack, move 9 AP, then move 12 AP. Like you could get kite someone endlessly, and that's not fun. It's too easy to break. And of course you could make rules, self-imposed ones. And you know, obviously I have a little bit of that with this particular challenge series, right? I've got a few like no third-party fights unless they happen naturally on, you know, trails and things like that. And those are, you know, arguably kind of the same idea, but I think they seem well defined to me, I guess. In Banner Saga, primarily what you hated was each time you attack an enemy, you have to choose either to damage their hit points or armor. That got tedious. And then there, each also determined at a 1-to-1 ratio of how much damage they could deal, plus I feel like I needed a calculator when you're trying to plan attacks. Just did not like it. Ooh. Yeah. Also, needing to feel like you have to use a calculator to kind of plan attacks, that sounds kind of icky. I agree. But at the same time, like I really enjoy Slay the Spire, and like literally each turn I do like a small algebra problem. So obviously I can't dislike it too much. But yeah, in Slay the Spire, each turn I sit and do math for a little bit of like, okay, what's 4 times 8? Like, you know. I've gotten a lot better at small, you know, small arithmetic problems. So I guess thanks, Slay the Spire. I can multiply small numbers together well. As soon as you start multiplying big numbers together, you probably lost the fight. Unless you're playing as the Watcher and then you have to do big multipliers for your own damage. Anyway, I enjoy Slay the Spire. Hey, Eagledub. You do indeed get to catch a bit of the stream. You saw my doppelganger the other night? Did a double take? Was it a random person named Johann in Germany? Have I told this story? I have, but I was on a vacation at a resort in Mexico. And I've had people tell me they have seen a doppelganger of me before, and almost every time, without fail, it is like, oh, that is just another tall, bald person. There's a lot of us. That's not a doppelganger. But in this rare instance, this tall German dude named Johann looked just like me. Even I agreed. His kids agreed. His kids were confused. His wife was confused. Everyone I was traveling with was confused. It was weird. He had my mannerisms. I didn't like it. Anyway, my doppelganger is out there. Jakob, not Johann. Jakob was his name, actually. You have a bunch of Johanns in southern Germany. Yeah, and I had the wrong name. It was Jakob. And then someone commented I look German, which is fair because that would be my heritage. Still don't know how to pronounce this enemy. Wiederganger? I don't know. Wiederganger? Oh, I don't know why Nick's Larfs is... What is going on? Something bugged out with his attack. I'll wait. Hopefully it'll work. But yeah, I only thought of Johann because of, you know, my boy Johann Sebastian Bach. I'm a Bach enjoyer. You have to sound more angry if you're pronouncing German names. Wiederganger, Wiederganger. Maybe that makes it closer. Can you post a link to the Wiederganger pronunciation? You can, yeah. I'd be interested in hearing it. Alright, let's hear this. This should play on stream too.
Wiederganger.
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 Wiederganger. Wiederganger.
Wiederganger.
Wiederganger. Wiederganger. Is that close? I realized that, like, you know, phonemes in each language are a bit different, so something that might sound close to one person is quite different to another. Okay, good. Alright. You're probably just being nice, but I appreciate it. Which are? There's two of them. Wiederganger. I tend to think, I always feel like when I'm speaking poorly, in any language other than English, I need to tone down the R's, because I feel like especially like Midwest accents, we have such strong R sounds that, you know, those just aren't present really in other languages. The Midwest R sound is very, very pronounced. You love my backdrop? My home looks very cozy. It is cozy. Yeah, it's I've got a nice little, you know, studio office space. It's a very cozy. It's actually like a basement, but the house is on a hill. So, it's like a walkout basement. So, this direction behind me, like in front of me, behind you, behind the camera, if you go in a straight line, it'll be dirt once you get through the wall. But then behind me is a window. Kind of cool. Or, alternatively, It's just a really good green screen. You be the judge. Nobody can hit that ghost. But yeah, I've also got like a nice little space with all my guitars and some solid wood sliding door windows that serve as a nice gentle reflections for audio when I do recording. And it's a good, that was kind of the original thought behind this space actually, was considerations for recording audio, because I am a guitarist who, I don't know, likes video games. And these bodyguards will not leave this guy's radius unless he starts fleeing. So we can take some time and beat him down the old-fashioned way. Using pole arms, that is. The old-fashioned way apparently is pole arms. I guess. I've just decided. I don't have many of those. But I got a few. Or reach weapons in general. Because whips, you know, they got reach. No Swordland sponsor this run? There's still time. There's still time. Are we looking at your garden, or is it a slope downhill? Yeah, so garden in the English sense of the word, like backyard. Yeah. Yeah, that's my backyard. And then there's like a little trees behind it. I don't live like on the edge of town. There actually is more houses on the other side of the trees, but there is like a little forested area because there's another hill, essentially. But yeah, but I do also have a bunch of, on the topic of gardens, I do have a bunch of raised garden beds that I built a few years ago that are also there, but I don't know how well you can see through the windows, but they're not really in frame anyway. They're like that way. But I built 6 raised garden beds. Because I like eating food. And I really like homegrown veggies. You also like eating food? Yeah, it's pretty cool. One of my favorite activities. Big fan. I'm living your dream? Well, yeah, it's lovely. It's I'm pretty happy with it. I do count my blessings. How do you do, fellow human? I also eat food. Yeah, in fact, I earlier today picked a huge sheet pan worth of raspberries and was munching on those earlier. And for dinner tonight, we made kale salads with like fried, well, salads, like a bed of romaine lettuce and spinach, and then I fried leftover chicken and with some kale from the garden. So not too much from the garden in that meal, but it's getting to the point where there's not too much coming out of it other than the raspberries anyway. Most of it's all done. The tomatillos are still going strong, so I'll make another round of salsa verde, but your mom made you go brave the hordes of wasp nests to go pick blackberries as a kid? Oh no. Disaster. Yeah, we got some paper wasps that set up around here, but they don't really sting at all. They're friendly wasps, I guess. But they look scary. Okay, now final perk for Alpha. It builds character, she said. Well, hopefully you didn't get stung much. What is that drink? Oh, it is... It does look like sewer sludge. No, for my wedding, a buddy of mine bought me a coffee liqueur. And so this is coffee liqueur and milk over ice. So it's like a coffee. It's not so different from a... Shit, what's that beverage called? A Moscow Mule? Or no, not Moscow Mule. What's it called? Russian? White Russian? White Russian. It's a little bit like a White Russian, kind of, but much less heavy. How many perks can they have? 10 total, or 11 if you count student, but that's because student doesn't do anything except give you more experience. Sorry, I could not think of. I had the right had the right country with Moscow Mule, but I knew it wasn't right. But yeah, it's just I don't know, a gentle White Russian, I guess. Kind of just trying to drink it because we have it. But yeah, we've got, so our last perk here on Alpha. Fort Mind seems like a pretty compelling choice here. Kind of thinking Fort Mind. Is there anything else I'm neglecting that I like really want that isn't Fort Mind? Because Fort Mind's just kind of like, it's good, but it's just sort of boring value perk. Is there anything I'm sort of missing? I don't think so. And again, I'm gonna have Blackfire be a similar build, only Blackfire will grab Lone Wolf. So Blackfire's final perks will be Underdog and Lone Wolf. So essentially Alpha and Blackfire will be the same build, except Alpha will have Fearsome and Blackfire will have Lone Wolf. Everything else will be the same. That's probably how I'll do it. I'll just do Fort Mind. Bump up the base resolve to 63 though. Again, as previously mentioned, Fort Mind is slightly better than it looks on paper because it does also multiply the increase that is provided by the banner's aura, which isn't going to show on their stats card when they're in formation because it doesn't apply those buffs. So, all right, EELI has leveled up. The first level, which is good because we're going to need to have a little time catching up. We're going to skip the +1 in melee skill for now. And we'll pump up a secondary. We'll grab hit points for now. Now, there's two ways I could do this. I could do the slightly greedy way or the extra greedy way. Or I could do the safe way. I'm gonna do the extra greedy way. We need EELI to catch up with the squad. So we're gonna give him student. Hey, Bijante. And then we can also put on leather shoulder guards on someone's armor. I think I'm going to put it on a nimble armor of some variety. You have 3 frontline gunners. You're already doing it the greedy way. Hey now. True. May as well embrace the greed fully. Is it greed or is it brilliance? It's greed. But it'll be fun, no matter how you categorize it. Frontline gunners, they're just enjoyable. They just are. When you line up a blast against 6 enemies all in one attack, was Gollum brilliant? Depends. Pre or post Smeagol. We've already collected our 20 heads, but we're gonna keep busting camps along the way. The team is pretty well ahead of the curve, so nearly any fight we take that isn't one of those sea of tents on the edge of the map is gonna be a fairly easy fight for us. So, unfortunately we have hit that part of the run, but that's okay. This is where streaming makes it a lot more enjoyable, at least for me. Do the fights get more intense the closer to the edge of the map you get? Yeah, kind of, because as you get closer to the edge of the map, that's where the most difficult enemies, the largest camps will spawn. So there's nothing special about like the particular enemies, it's just that there are bigger camps with more of them, basically, in the harder types of enemies. Generally speaking, you know, you can find some really difficult fights in the center of the map too. And there are certain types of enemies, like barbarians, that can be closer to the center of the map that can have, you know, really big camps. So yes, and notably, and so Bijante brings up the reason why we do it, which I neglected to describe. So thank you for mentioning that. Yeah, higher named item chance. So that's why I choose to go to the edge of the map as well. The fights are more difficult, yes. There are more enemies, yes. There are also more named items, which is like, named items in this game are like the equivalent of like uniques, if you will, from other types of like ARPGs kind of thing. It's where the fancy stuff is. And I love fancy things. They're shiny, and I like things that are shiny. I'm very simple. More named shields and goblin spears, to be exact. Actually, I would genuinely be pretty happy with some goblin spears in this run. Assuming that they aren't crappy, right? Obviously I don't want crappy goblin spears, but I'd be happy with goblin spears. The edge of the map gives you more opportunities to trade bros for hats. Exactly. Exactly. Oh, that guy went into spear wall range just to try to eat this zombie and then immediately perished. Delightful. Oh, that fallen hero made it through, which is too bad. But I guess ultimately not that big a deal, because we got Nixlarf's Dagger Mastery. So we can apply the 3 Overwhelm stacks, and this fallen hero is very unlikely to hit anything. A Goblin Spear would break on round 2 here, haha. Yeah, I mean, I would definitely need to have another backup weapon, for sure. That's a fair point, and one that is very true. Though, you know, the durability of an item is only diminished when you are doing armor damage. So for all these attacks that I take where the enemy's armor is already gone and I'm only hitting hit points, that does not affect the durability of the item. Fun fact. So for the zombies that charge in endlessly after their armor's been destroyed, that's no longer going to be affecting the durability. If it was every attack instead of just their armor, boy, even these boar spears and fighting spears would be feeling it. I've got all those dead zombies. Wiederganger. I don't even remember the pronunciation now. I've already forgotten. I think this happened to me again last time. I think when there are zombies rising and I click a button to do a stab, I click too fast and I like cause a glitch in the matrix. Dead zombies, ironic. Indeed. They are undead. Living impaired. That's right. That is the correct way to refer to them. Living impaired. Yeah, if I wait a hot minute, I don't cause that weird glitch. Life averse. There we go. Living averse. Yeah. I don't know. I kind of like alive averse. Also works pretty well. They didn't choose this life, or unlife, as it were, unless they were a necromancer practicing the dark arts. Alright, we'll let that one nacho escape. And we got 2 stacks of gemstones. Wonderful. Those will sell for a pretty penny. You've only made it for today 50 before you get too frustrated and you knew the zombies could raise on their own without a necromancer? Yeah, they'll raise on their own. There's a set limit to it. I think it's twice? Could be. Okay, and then we continue on to Gronenberg. And if the shortest path, okay, I was gonna say if the shortest path is the road, we'll take the road, and if it's through here, we'll take here. Whatever the shortest path is, works for me. Gronenberg here has safe roads as well. And of course, this Alsliv was under attack by Unholds, which it would be nice if we could have accepted that contract to do that in the meantime before we return to Bremenborg, but you can only have one contract open at once, or active, because we would actually really like to fight Unholds because we want armor attachments, and Unholds are a great way to get some very relevant ones. We can take a moment here to level everyone up. Manifest Destiny's Child, our lowest level spear bro. +3s in the primaries, +5 here, looks good. And we'll just go ahead and grab Duelist now. And we'll probably grab Fearsome next level. Faring pretty well. Then Eagledub, Frontline Gunner. Oh man. Hell yeah, max rolls on all the primary stats, we'll take it. And then we'll grab 9 lives just in case. Just to make sure nothing happens. Okay, and we gotta get to Bremenborg in 3 days. So I'll probably head through this little patch of fogged area. May as well. So we'll head back through this same sort of space we just went through a moment ago. Mercenaries pass through here. We'll be looking for mercenary tracks in general to complete our ambition, but ones that are coming from a city we're allied to are probably in the employ of that city, and we don't need to make them angry. We've got a few Chosen and Reavers who are looking to pick a fight. Sounds good to me. Joke's on you, my dudes. We are particularly well equipped to fight your kind. Spearman vs. Chosen, your favorite Slurgy content by far? Hell yeah. Mine too. Only a few Chosen here though, so not particularly, you know, exciting, but hey, we'll take it. We could push the fatigue neutrals forward a smidge. Kind of keen to do that. Hit this Reaver. That way we can get the banner up, can attack that Reaver. We can get Eagledub on some high ground. All good stuff. Get Nixlarfs in a better position. Lovely. So we can push this guy up. This guy can stay where he is. This guy can stay where he is. And this guy can stay where he is. And I think I'll wait on Nixlarfs. We may be able to get a better gun blast next turn, though I guess I say that. I don't hate that attack right there. Do you ever use throwing spears? Yeah, I'll use them, especially if I have bags and belts on a thrower. Or especially if I do, so if I do a throw gun hybrid and I've got more perks to spare because they're like a super Chad and I didn't have to take gifted or fast adaptation, so I can have both crossbow and firearms mastery and the full suite of throwing perks, including bag and belts. I really like having a throwing spear there because I can move 1 hex, blast with the gun, and then use the throwing spear, which is just a bigger attack compared to a javelin. And it does benefit from throwing mastery. So, is good. Noted. Couldn't find any relevant emotes. Understood. But yeah, I think they're handy. They're handy to have. Let's see. So I can move Final Overdrive to here, get in range of this guy so he can't recover from his morale malice. We'll do the same thing for Sir Humbert, I guess. Oh no, they destroyed the tower shield. I don't care about the tower shield. If it wasn't obvious. Keeping Chosen at bay. Not such a difficult thing. And then blasting them with big old gun blasts. And I'll probably bring a Kibio over to help with that Chosen right there. No quick hands yet on EELI. Yeah, spear wall is useless because enemies will avoid it. It's the funniest misconception, because on surface level it's kind of true, but the key is that you make it so that it is strategically unavailable for them to avoid it. You know? You make it that avoiding it is not in the AI's best interest. Everyone's missing their attacks against this Chosen. Everyone, including EELI, who kind of needs to hit that particular Chosen. And let's stop this guy from being able to run. EELI still has 9 lives available. So, no fears there. There it is. Yeah, even if it was true, it would mean that it worked perfectly, area denied. Exactly. That's very true. That was close. I mean, kind of. That was on the very lowest end of the spectrum as far as luck is concerned. So, you know, we missed a whole bunch of likely to hit attacks. And then concurrently, that chosen hit every single attack against EELI. So we got unlucky, but because of 9 lives, we're fine. And that fight did get us one very nice weapon in the Heavy Rusty Axe. That weapon is excellent. In fact, I will give it to Akibio. We'll move the Great Axe over here. The Heavy Rusty Axe is one of the best weapons in the game. You don't need to do anything special to acquire it, unlike the highest tier mace and hammer, which you kind of like, it either has to come on a recruit or you have to buy it or find it from a hedge knight, but that's kind of that's very spooky. But the Heavy Rusty Axe just drops from chosen. So no problem. We'll swap over EELI's armor. And because he has 9 lives and some heavy armor, we'll just keep him in the back and he should be safe. We'll have to be a little bit mindful of what we fight to keep him alive, but should be good. Nixlarfs did get cut arm sinew, which was too bad. And we got some cut leg muscles here. So we do have some injuries we're gonna have to treat at the temple. Great Axe though. Yeah, the Heavy Rusty Axe is just a better Great Axe. I wish it weren't so, but if you do the math on, you know, hits to kill against basically anything, the Heavy Rusty Axe is going to slightly outperform the Great Axe against almost all enemies. Notable exceptions include enemies that have no armor at all. And the Great Axe does strip more armor, which is probably makes it slightly better when paired with other weapons against Orc Warriors, but that's pretty marginal. Yeah, the Great Axe looks better. It does look better. It looks cool. But yeah, if you do like hits to kill, oh, don't suppose you're the kind to march beneath the Lord's banner. You look like sellswords to me. We'll pay for a round of beer. Wonderful. So we'll need to be slightly careful with EELI if they have a bunch of throwing weapons. Looks like they just have one little set of throwing weapons. So we'll just engage that guy directly. How about? But yeah, the Heavy Rusty Axe being the superior weapon compared to the Great Axe is definitely a unintuitive and slightly awkward reality. Feels like it shouldn't be better. You like the Great Axe more on Newts because of the thematic value. Great Axe strips armor, Nimblebro with the Chosen Axe comes in. Yeah, I mean, that's fair. And it's pretty marginal. It's not a big difference. They're close to the same. So, you know. If you like one better because of its thematic value, you're honestly not missing out on much at all. Yeah, let's just get in there and attack that guy. let's save the ammo. I don't think I'll need it. Okay. Give me that necklace. Give me your family heirlooms. We can sell them. All right, contract complete. Gonna treat more stuff at the temple. We want to treat basically all of these. And so we're gonna do so. They no longer have the settlement condition that is ruining our sale price. And so we're gonna sell some stuff here. Previously, we sold things that were just, you know, not the most expensive items, not the trade goods. Here I think we'll sell basically all of it because I'm gonna make another trip through the wilds, so I want to clear up as much inventory space as possible. Except for the furs, which apparently they can create here. Yeah, so we're not gonna sell those. We'll sell the others though. A case could be made for hanging on to like the most expensive items. For example, the golden chalice and gemstones, to get an even better sale price at like a large city. You know, I could get up to 1400 somewhat reasonably. But I'm gonna keep my life simple and just sell them. Might be able to get the cart upgrade in the interim by selling those. And so I think that'll be ultimately better economically. If I even want to. Don't really have to, after all. Let's see, what do I have for spare forge armors? I've got this decayed coat of plates, this mail hauberk, which I really don't even need to keep, decayed coat of scales. Let's just sell the decayed coat of scales. We'll keep 2 forged armors, I guess 3 forged armors. Do I even need 3 forged armors? Not really. 3 spare forged armors. It's more than we really need. Realistically, if a bro with a forged armor, if almost all of his armor is stripped, the bro is also very hurt. So, sell now equals more space for trash loot. I mean, exactly. So we're probably not quite to the point where we can do the caravan upgrade. But that's okay. We didn't get any heavy throwing weapons from those fights. I wasn't trying to loot them too hard, but that would have been nice. So yeah, how long? Between 1 and 3 days to repair the injuries? Okay. Yeah, I think we'll make another trip through the wilderness here. We're gonna be looking for Goblin City, so as soon as I get to this sort of southern part of the map, I'm gonna be farting around some of these mountain ranges to kind of look for it. That way we can kick off the trigger that we need to complete for beating Goblin City, which I usually choose the option of smashing their camps. Because I like smashing goblin camps, because that's where you get fancy named items. So we're gonna buy a little bit of all of the things that we need. I could buy a falcon. There are a number of fights where the falcon is legit kind of useful. It's useful in the library fight. It's useful in a handful of other fights. I don't normally buy this. This is very rare, but it is kind of nice. And it makes a very fun sound. Why not? There's not many places for me to buy dogs on this map. So, falcon it is. It makes a hawk sound. Yeah, exactly. Impossible to tell the difference between the two. Indistinguishable. Caw-caw! That's right. Caw-caw! Let's hear that again. Wonderful. Okay, and we bought enough supplies. Well, we bought enough supplies except for food. We're gonna need more food than this. 5 days of food is not enough. I'll probably buy all of this. Yeah, it says 7 days of food. It's actually less than that because you eat food at a higher rate out in the wilds. Okay, now we'll take a moment to level up Sir Humpert. Sir Humpert's final level. We'll go and choose fatigue there. Now, Sir Humpert is an interesting case. He has a lot of fatigue. He's got wildly good melee skill. Previously, so to outline some of the other bros, Final Overdrive here has Cleaver Mastery, so Cleavers is a backup. And I am trying to spread these out, and I'll explain why in a second. Friso has Mace Mastery. Sir Humpert could go one of two ways. We could just grab Berserk. Which is okay. I don't love it, but it's okay. Or we could grab another mastery. As far as one-hand weapons go, there's no need to pick Hammer Mastery because Hammer doesn't make as good a duelist weapon, and we've got good places for named one-handed hammers if we were to find them. Sword Mastery would be reasonable. He's got high enough melee skill that, like, he kind of doesn't need it to be Sword Mastery. Manifest Destiny's Child will probably also have high enough melee skill that he won't benefit too much from Sword Mastery. But swords are a decent choice. They're still good. It's just, you know, it's nice to give that mastery, if I were to go that route, to someone with a little bit lower melee skill, because they'll benefit a little bit more from the flat +10 additional hit chance that swords offer. I can also just hang on to this perk point for now and decide what I want to do with it. On the other two that leveled up to 11 first, they were both rat catchers with really high initiative values. Friso's is better than it currently looks because of his injury. But on those I grabbed dodge. So Sir Humpert, basically, if I grab a mastery, will have the same type of build, only Killing Frenzy instead of dodge. So I could grab dodge on him too. It's not like it's bad. He's got pretty good initiative, so he gets pretty decent value from it. But I'm gonna hang on to this perk point just for now, just for a little bit. And we'll head out into the wilderness. So we'll bust camps along the way. Oh, I'm not gonna go back for it. Oh, never mind. I forgot that I did it. I guess I blame the beverage, but I can't even really blame it on that. But I wanted to make sure I got Eagledub, the training experience buff, which I very responsibly did, and then I guess kind of forgot about. As a side note, even though right now this says Unknown Garrison, based on the flag, I know this is Orcs, because each faction has their own set of flags, and this is an Orc one. So kind of reminds me of there was a flag from Warcraft 2. Of the one particular clan flag. Oh man. It was the Blacktooth Grin clan. I found it. Anyway, if you look at the Blacktooth Grin clan, that kind of reminds me of this flag. Learning all faction flags. Yeah, oh, and we need to put a shield on the Alpha. Yeah, so do it like I do. Do it like the dude with aphantasia. Learn the theme, memorize the theme, and then you don't have to memorize anything else. So memorize a set of facts. If it is any sort of face with like jaggy teeth, then it's orcs. Oh man, I should have used the hawk. The eagle? Falcon. Whatever, I should have used the bird. Then it could be undead orcs. Oh my goodness. Terrifying. Can you imagine if there were undead orcs? Pretty spooky. EELI successfully sniped that enemy, but what I didn't anticipate was, well, that he'd be like, you know, fine afterwards. He's got a burnt face though. Seems like that would be bad. Unpleasant at the very least. Now we could attack here, or caca. Oh wow. That guy almost made it out of range of Final Overdrive spear. Very few enemies are able to do something like that. Good for him. He tried. So we're gonna explore through these little, oh no. My dad would yell at me if I was mowing the lawn like this. We'll just correct midway through. Ooh, a few armored unholds. This will be nice. A nice fight to take from the perspective of getting some unhold hides. It's almost day, which would make killing the thralls a bit easier. Well, we'll level up EELI here. We'll go ahead and get quick hands. It'll be handy to be able to switch weapons to a melee weapon as the situation calls for it. And we'll just grab the primaries probably. Yeah. We will again need to continue to be careful with him while these injuries heal up. Now I could wait just a little bit of time for daytime to come around, but I think we'll be okay without. We will need to be mindful of the unholds. Spear walls are going to do nothing to them. So we'll need to, you know, probably just swap weapons right now. They have a little drummer boy. They do. They got a little drummer boy. Come, they told me, pa-rum-pa-pum-pum. That was one of my favorite Christmas songs as a kid. I learned how to play it on piano. It's the only song I can really play on piano. So yeah, I'll probably just switch weapons on the Spear Bros and have everyone retreat back a bit. Move everyone back 2 hexes. A Slurgy classic. Could throw a fire pot first. It's pretty juicy. Yeah, I guess not as good as I thought, but not bad. There. Now it's better. It's an okay gun blast. That one's a little better. Oh, I should have used the bird. Man. And I need to equip a shield. Boy. Forgetting all these things. Bird? What species? Man, I can't remember. Is it a falcon? This is so confusing. I'm so embarrassed. A falcon. Not an eagle, not a hawk. None of those things. It's a falcon. So confusing. This thing sure sounds like a hawk, right? Yeah, it's confusing. Let's be real. I don't know what the birds actually sound like. Beef? That's an entirely other animal. This is getting out of control. Yeah, what did I call them? Did I call them hawks? I don't even remember. And it's funny because when I made that mistake, I was just describing how like, oh yeah, I used to be an ESL teacher. Can't even keep my birds straight. The shame I must feel, you know? Oh yeah, it's true. I did. I think I called him God knows what. You know, it's complicated. That's right, punch him. Yeah, and I think on this guy, on EELI, we'll make sure not to get too close to the unholds. You don't understand is why you can't have unholds if they are so trainable. Now, I will say, pretty sure that exists in Legends. Just saying, pretty sure it does. But I'm inclined to agree. It would be cool to somehow tame them. It's obviously possible. Imagine armored unholds in Monolith. Great tool they would have been. Yeah, they'd be... Yeah, unholds in Monolith. They'd be incredibly effective. Get him, Doge. That's the wrong one. No, don't miss. Alright, we made that one afraid. Just one little Beastmaster and his coward drummer remaining. But the drummer will be long gone by the time I can see him. It's over. Alright, cute little fight. And unfortunately we only got one giant skull and bones, but you know what? That's 1/3 of a bone armor attachment. I'll take it. Send the pooch after him. Yeah, I did that previously and lost one of my little pooches. It was very sad. And given that I think there's only one kennel on this whole map. Yeah, in Grunberg. I think that's the only one. At least it's the only one friendly to me. Nope, I guess there's one in Wolf's Wall as well. Well, that's fitting. So I guess there's two kennels. But in any case, you know, I'm low on dogs, so in a previous fight I sent the dogs after a drummer and he killed one of them. Very sad. Didn't the place you bought the bird also have... it didn't have dogs in a kennel. It did have one dog. That's true. It was one dog without armor, just in the marketplace. Okay, so final overdrive. I think I like the idea of going to 76 hit points, because then after Colossus, it's like gaining 2, because it'll go from 93 to 95. Because it is the 1/4 point boundary. So our first veteran level on lockdown. Hell yeah. Sneaky +2 hit points. You'll love to see it. Got some orc hunters here. They're probably going to run from me. We'll take a peek on this mountain, see if we want to chase them. Probably will. What's the statue? So the statue is the ancient statue, and by going to that location, you get a morale boost. There's a cute little story that, I don't know, you should, you know, when you reach the event, it's cute. It's cute, it's charming, but it raises the company's mood. I saved this for just before Monolith because just before Monolith, I imbibe a bunch of potions to buff up the team, but they get sick. And while they're nursing off their hangover from being sick, I'm not taking fights. The mood starts to dwindle a bit. By visiting the ancient statue, I bring it back up just before the fight. So I save visiting this location until just before Monolith in, I think, every run of the Win series so far, and probably will continue to do it this time. I think I've found it in every run as well. Probably. I think that's true. All right, we've got a large and foul-smelling sea of tents. Some young, some berserkers, many warriors, and a warlord. The only downside here is I've got a few injuries that I want to recover before we do a fight like this. I do want to do more Sea of Tents fights, and I want to do more Orc Sea of Tents fights. But I want to do it when the team is, like, I don't know, hurt. Equip the shield, thank God, yes. And let's equip shield. we will go ahead and equip dreaded Wilfried's Defender. But I am going to need to be careful to make sure I don't lose this, because this shield actually matters to me for the company strategy for the Monolith fight. Or I guess any difficult fight where I've got, where I can use a second wind potion. But thank you, the Chaucer, for the reminder. But yeah, like this injury, and so that one will be healed by tomorrow, 1 to 3 days, 1 to 2 days, 1 to 2, healed by tomorrow. Injuries are healed at midday. We'll fight this group of orc hunters and we'll see where injuries are at. If enough of them heal, I'll take on that fight. If not many do, then I might skip it for now. Do you think the team lacks sufficient armor strip for the Sea of Tents fights? Well, we did one successfully already. Granted, it was somewhat low on warriors. But yeah, it'll definitely be a bit of a slog, and we are, you know, we are low on armor strip for that kind of fight, for sure. Legitimately useful hawk there. I guess they'll all funnel through this tiny area. Some of them even successfully. Whipped him. But yeah, the team is definitely low on armor strip. The guns will do an okay job of it, at least, you know, aggregate armor damage if they get a big attack in. But if you couldn't tell from my tone of voice, it's not like something I anticipate there being a lot of armor damage. So, Spearmen are underrated against Orc Young and Berserkers, fearsome by whips too. Yeah, it's pretty nice. Pretty nice. That guy just ran away only to die. How sad. I just did a little dance move there. That was cute. Same with that guy. They don't even know what to do with themselves. The AI is just like, I can't get through. I don't know what to do. This is a very silly fight. Very weird terrain. Pocket two-handed weapons on Gunner's gonna be clutch the fight. Yeah, they were in the previous like Orc Sea Tents that I had fought. Actually, I think in that one, did I only have one pocket two-handed weapon? Pretty sure it was literally just one. Oh, that guy is now fleeing. Oh, let's make sure that he doesn't get away. We'll let him trip over these spears. Run him down. We'll let him do it again. Got him. Okay. And then You know, because of the scavenger, these are basically like tools positive fights, which is pretty nice. The only thing I'm really afraid of actually in the Orc Sea Tense fights, so not as many injuries healed as I wanted. So I am gonna dodge it for now. But one of the things that's actually kind of a concern for those Orc Sea Tense fights is just having the boar spears. I'd feel a lot more comfortable if I had more fighting spears. I do have some backups. Is it just the one? Just the one? Just one isn't quite enough, huh? Let's see, so what should my route through the wilds be? There's another Orc Sea Tense over there. That one is in the swamp. Should make it a slightly easier fight, actually. I really need this sprained ankle to heal, though. Or I could just have Nixlarfs sit out and put in Eberhard just for that one battle. That would be fine, too. Yeah, I'm gonna head down to this Sea of Tents, and the reason why this one will be easier, even though I don't know what the contents are, is that it'll have swamp terrain, and so the orcs are very likely going to get separated from each other if I retreat to this edge of the map, similar to fighting in the forest. So warriors move less distance compared to their younger, better pathfinding pals. Young and warriors don't have Pathfinder, exactly. And warriors have fewer AP. So the berserkers get out in front, and then the young, and then the warriors. So ends up working out pretty well. Yeah, I'm 68% sure that you are correct, Bijante. That's right, 68%. Caw. Interestingly enough, Nixlarf says fast enough. Well, maybe not. Maybe not with 100. I'm not sure. I was gonna say it's fast enough I could go like here, and then next turn blast and run away. But I'll just chill where he's at. I guess he is still faster than all of them, but I wasn't 100% convinced of that fact. Looks to me like we've got some very delicious gunshots. Primed and ready for this pack of orcs. You love to see it. Hello, Grib. How goes it? Let's make sure we get a overwhelm stack on that man splitter, just in case. The theme of the run is overwhelming firepower. Oops, all guns. Apparently so. You might ask yourself, Slurgy, did you plan that ahead of time? And the answer is, no, not really. I had planned on all of these spear duelists, as one could see from the first video of this run series. I did have a plan in that regard. But the oops all guns was just a happy accident, you know? Fastest Orc Berserkers probably have 107 initiative. Okay. That's good to know. That's actually, honestly, my play could be improved quite a bit by just knowing some of those numbers off the top of my head and just being able to reference them at will. That would be actually genuinely pretty helpful. There's a lot of situations where you want to know kind of what the fastest of each enemy is, and then just a general ballpark of their average as well. And I know some of those, but the Orc Berserkers, knowing that that's 107 is probably pretty useful because those are among the among the fastest of Orcs enemies, and so knowing when they can and can't go is definitely useful. Right? I mean, Grib, guns are just archers of the future, if you think about it, you know? They're advanced archers, in a way. XJI 8. He's just gonna be a regular traditional hybrid. Advanced throwers, that's right. Thinking, what's that? Fair question. We'll grab duelists, and then, So we'll have 3 more perks after this. If I wanted, if I'm looking for just sheer damage, the last 3 perks I would take would be Zerk Frenzy Bags, and I don't hate that, and so if I went that route, I would want to grab Fatigue here. The other option would be Zerk Frenzy Fearsome, or Fearsome Bags, question mark, Fearsome Bags, and then either Zerk or Frenzy or Gifted. I could be convinced of a lot of different ways that building this bro could be good. Generally speaking, I'm reluctant to level up Fatigue, but I guess I'll do it here. Aim for 110 to 120 initiative to outspeed all orcs. Yeah, 120 to 130 to outspeed goblin skirmishers. That seems low to me. That feels like that's only valid if you wait, they wait, and you have relentless. I feel like 120 to 130. Maybe that is fast enough for the skirmishers. It doesn't feel fast enough for the ambushers, though. I thought the skirmishers were a bit faster, but maybe not. Alright, we'll take a look at this Orc Ceotens. We'll definitely want to fight this during the day. It's just about daytime anyway. Some young, some warrior, or some berserkers, many warriors, and a warlord. So basically the same as the other camp, only this one is in the swamp. Skirmishers aren't that fast. Ambushers are too fast to hold their turns. If you level initiative, you take a relentless, of course. Okay. I thought skirmishers were. I didn't realize they were that slow. Actually, I knew they were slower, but I thought they were a bit faster. I was wrong. So yeah, if I want to do this camp, which, you know, I do, many warriors is mildly concerning, I'll say. I'm going to take off their daggers so that I can, in a pinch, put the shield in the pocket. I can always drop it on the ground, but if I'm standing over a corpse, those spots might be occupied. So the reason I might drop it on the ground is I want to keep these shields healthy, and I'd rather just pocket them if I'm going to lose them. In a lot of cases, unless the bro is going to die, and then I'll keep the shield out. We're definitely low on armor damage. That's for sure. I'm gonna give someone a backup spear. Who do I think it's likely to want to be? I don't know, I guess Sir Humpert, because he's got the highest melee skill. The backup spear is for if he holds his spear wall for so long that the orc warriors nearly break it. Not such an unlikely event in the grand scheme of things. We can put a pocket whip on the banner as well. Yeah. We can give this a whirl. So, as previously mentioned, because of this sprained ankle, we're going to have Nixlarfs sit out because I'm going to need to do a retreat to the edge of the map so that the orcs mindlessly charge forward, and in their mindless, bloodlust-filled charge, the orc warriors will be stuck in the back. But only if I'm able to actually, like, you know, successfully do the retreat. And it'll still be a bit of a task to take down those warriors even after the young and berserkers are dealt with. So it's a slightly spicy fight. I don't love that murky water. Don't love that at all, in fact. So we are going to use our bird on our retreat, and then we'll see what the terrain looks like. Do you ever miss Indom tanks in these types of fights? Yeah. I do. So I can go to here and use the bird. Everyone can stay in formation if we all back up and to the left. I'm less concerned with exactly where the warriors and warlord move. Oh, interesting. So, to give people a little context for what's going through my mind here, there's two different types of terrain here in the swamp. There's the murky water, which are the tiles that look like, you know, water. And on those tiles, you have reduced melee skill, melee defense, and range defense. And then we have the other tiles, plush grass and muddy earth, that despite the fatigue to traverse difference are otherwise identical from the perspective of like a fight. Ideally, you can set up such that you are able to stand on plush grass and enemies are standing on murky water. That's the dream. That's the ideal. We have a way of kind of setting that up if I'm able to retreat all the way back here. That's going to be tough to do. But I think might just barely be possible. So I'm going to set up like, you know, a few spear bros kind of here, and all the rest of the team's going to be kind of packed into this area. As soon as you touch this area on the edge of the map, you lose some resolve. So maybe south of your position you see a pocket. Yeah, like I could also go here. That's true. So here's another option. That one's not bad. We definitely have some murky water here we can take advantage of. This might be slightly easier for me to get into. However, I think the downside with that is that the warlord has a straight shot and ends up sort of center of the pack. I kind of feel like if I go through here, it's possible orcs clog this up and the warlord gets a bit lost in the murky water here while the enemies filter their way towards me. So I am still shooting for this area back here. So I think that'll be the plan. So I'm going to go ahead and retreat the full number of hexes. I guess getting through these trees is going to be tricky, but we'll have to coordinate it. They look so hard to get through everyone in time. Yeah, I think we could do it though. We may have to have, like Friso, for example, skitter off and take kind of a long way. Possibly, no, not also Deep Space Cowboy though. Only one of them can do it. No, I think we're okay. Ooh. Random thought, realization. Everyone has Pathfinder, but not EELI. EELI does not have Pathfinder. That does matter, and that matters quite a bit. But everybody else does. So we'll set up our spear walls here and here, and we'll have gunners kind of outlining the flanks around them. Spicy positioning. Spicy indeed. Let's see, where specifically am I going to want to have Adler? We have one gunner here, another gunner. Oh, that's murky water. A gunner here and here. Another spearman there and there. Fatigue neutrals. Also have to think about where EELI is gonna go without Pathfinder. We have to just run to there. I guess this orc cannot reach him, okay. Okay. Yeah, so he'll go there for now. Okay. They took some time to decorate this entryway? Exactly. They were following HOA rules, as it were. We all know how important those are. So let's see, I'm just gonna move Eberhard back to kind of get out of the way as I reposition everyone. Make sure he's not clogging things up. And I suppose I'll put XJI 8 here. He's gonna be standing in murky water, which sucks. Oh, it doesn't suck. It doesn't hurt range skill. Why do I care about that? He can stand here just fine. It doesn't suck at all. In fact, it's great. I just love it, standing here in this murky water. This is my favorite place. That's what he's gonna be saying. Okay, we'll set up Friso here. Deep Space Cowboy will go here, but we're gonna wait to let Alpha get fully out of the way first. Actually, no. Blackfire can go first, so we can go in position here. Hurts Ardef scary in this fight? Something like that. I mean, hey, some of these young are probably gonna have javelins. It's not totally irrelevant. I'm gonna want to make sure I've got this area fully jam-packed. So let's see, if EELI goes here, Kibio here. Actually, why don't I put a Kibio there? I think that'll be better. No, because I need Alpha out of there. Okay, We can reposition later. I can get him, like, there for now. Let's get Akibio in better shooting spot, but I guess I need Offa to move first. It's kind of annoying. Okay. Alright, send him all the way down there. We'll go ahead and do our spear walls. We're ready to blast. See, ranged defense will be somewhat relevant. Whip them. And we'll go ahead and start throwing some jabs here on XGI-8. Definitely going to need some long-lasting spear walls in this fight. And we were building up a little bit of fatigue running through all of this murky ground. So we're not going at this at exactly 0. Quadruple headshots from Orc Young jabs. Lord, I hope not. And I guess we'll swap to the whips. We'll be ready to whip. Call me Nene. The other downside to getting hit by the javelins on our spear duelists in front is that that's going to lower their fatigue. So if you dodge a ranged attack, it does nothing to you, to your fatigue. If you get hit, you take a, you lose a little fatigue. So it is actually relevant. Yeah, let's let the warriors move forward first before I blast with those gunners. Hey, Caesar. Indeed. Interesting indeed. We've got a fun little crew here. That guy is so very dead. Yeah, see, these hurting his fatigue there, like that's legit, like that's actually quite relevant. So losing fatigue there, getting hit with those javelins, that matters to us. Because this guy is stunned, do I even want to attack this berserker? I think the answer is no. We want to leave this hex occupied. So I'm more concerned with a warrior attacking Eberhard. So given that he's stunned, we're going to chill. Fat new crossbow, bro. Yeah, he's in training. We're working on it. He's a work in progress. At some point soon, we will need to push forward with the fatigue neutrals, and I want to do it before I run out of fatigue. So I could pull out the hammers early. I don't need to use fatigue this turn. Let's just wait. We'll see if there's any other... Get the banner down there. Banner to match the mean dude. Did I need to kill that orc young? Debatably, no. Did I want to? Absolutely, yes. Now I could go here. Doesn't get in the way of the gun blasts, either, unless I do one here. No, we'll wait. We'll stay there. Deep Space Cowboy might want to shoot forward. So this is the bro that I'm thinking about pulling out the Warhammer on. Yeah, let's do it. And then we'll let his fatigue recover, because I'm going to have him move forward and attack the champion, I think. Same deal here. We'd like to use destroy armor on the warlord. So final overdrive, this is his final spear wall. The final spear drive. Guess I could have waited there and gotten a slightly bigger spear blast. Or gun blast. So we're going to give Eberhard an opportunity to back up here. We are going to push Manifest Destiny's Child up just to cover another hex to... Yeah, I think I will do that. And not only will I do that, I think it's time for Black Fire to move forward. I think Black Fire is strong enough. I don't have Underdog. I went with Fort Mine last level instead. Feels questionable. Still, given that the spear walls are just about to end because of the fatigue needs, I need to get one of these guys up there because that's kind of their job. Won't be able to gun blast with a Kibio. No, yeah, I still can. I can gun blast right there. Without hitting him. He should be quite durable. And yeah, he's got this shield on. So we may need to pocket the shield at some point if it gets hit by this axe a couple times, just to preserve it. I guess this is fine. This is fine. If Eberhard dies, we don't really care. He's kind of a replacement at the moment anyway. So we will pull out the cleaver here, but I'm gonna wait and let other bros go first. Still have a good gun blast right there. So we'll take it. You care about him? That's very kind. That's very nice. I might put a net on one of these warriors just simply so that they spend 4 AP to get out of it. So let's do 2 attacks here on this warrior. That way Final Overdrive can pull out the cleaver and get to work. With a Kibio, we're going to prevent some surrounds by moving forward. Yeah, we'll put ourselves in striking range of the... Oh, and I should have pulled out the melee weapon first for the resolve check. Whoops! That's okay. We put him within striking range of some of the orcs, but in a location that we're fine with. Uh-oh. That was really bad. That was a lot of hits on Final Overdrive. That's a flash pot, not a smoke pot. Is this where it ends? Oh, the company isn't going to end. Final Overdrive, however, is in a tenuous spot. To put it lightly. His dodge wasn't doing him as much, you know, 65% chance and 40% chances to hit. His dodge value was pretty diminished. Is he dead to bleed? Oh, he's got 9 lives. So, no. He's still got 9. He'll proc 9. The downside to him procking 9 from the bleeds, though, is that, you know, he'll proc 9, but this is his weighted turn. So, that sort of sucks. We'll get the banner up to throw a flash pot for next turn, and to also serve as a juicy push through to me, get to me target, but we are concerned. Also, waiting was maybe foolish because I knew he was going to get attacked, so he lost his... How much MDF does 9 lives give? 15? 10? What is the number? I could weapon swap and disarm this Orc Warrior with the cleaver, but the only thing that really helps him with is the punch to the head, because I think a punch to the body, Orc's punch damage is higher, as weird as that sounds. So I could disarm him. Not even gonna succeed, but it was worth a try. Oh, I don't like that stun. Oh, that stun is bad. So, I mean, if I rally, he'll gain a bit of defense. That could save him. It's unlikely. I really want to save Final Overdrive. It probably just isn't going to happen, which sucks. The Flash Pot doesn't really help because it'll lower their damage, which, again, they haven't hit him in the head at all. If they hit him in the head, that could be relevant. So the Flash Pot isn't nothing, but it's not quite enough. Attacks with the banner are going to be pretty bad, even with their armor as low as it is. I guess the best is to use Rally, right? His Final Overdrive still has decent melee defense, despite being wavering. Yeah, Final Overdrive has indeed been the run's MVP, which is why I really don't want to lose him. So Deep Space Cowboy will not be able to both reload and fire, but he could attack. What will the fates decide? I don't know. Okay, we got that one fleeing. So that's good. That's really good. Come on, Black Fire. That's not what we needed. Uh-oh. No! Final Overdrive was slain here, and that was... struck down. Just struck down. The copium is real, only struck down. Still kicking. Lost an eye. We can hope. Also, hello, Aperio. Alt F4. Orc warrior really needed to get there, huh? Brain damage, please? Oh man. Actually, brain damage would be a little bit bad because he does have dodge. Don't whip him in the head. Ooh, if I pull out the whip, I bet I can finish him. Eberhard's still hanging in there. Miraculously. Sir Humpert, finally out of fatigue. So we'll put Blackfire here in the murky water, which is fine. And Eberhard is definitely biting the dust. And there it is. That's right, fear me. Ooh. Whoa. Big hits on Sir Humpert there. Kind of out of nowhere. Excuse me? So close to fleeing. Yeah. He is now fleeing. Oh, Jesus. That was a misplay. Okay, let's get... No, no, no. No, you bastard! Sir Humpert is struck down. Ugh. Ranks are getting thin. Well, a little. Luckily, it was mostly bros getting struck down. 3 hats coming right up. We better get some hats for this. Run them down. We're not letting them... Excuse me? This fight ain't over. We're not letting them go. This is for final overdrive. You took out his eye. Or whatever the injury ends up being. Final dislocated kneecap. That would be sad. Whew. Okay. Ooh, yikes. So partially collapsed lung. That's pretty tough for this build. And a weakened heart, also pretty tough. We got a okay hammer. This hammer has, the 2 things it rolled were effectiveness against armor and maximum fatigue. And a shield, that's fine. That was, you know, in the end, that was not great, but we'll be okay. The team will, you know, you can't have the fun, spicy fights if you don't take the fun, spicy fights. Hey, Sins. Yeah, so tough result for sure. If we get the water skin, it's certainly going to go on one of these 2. As to which of the 2 is more debilitating, unclear. Nyx Larfs is back in. Sir Humpert we never cared about, so that one's fine. And then I think Akibio just got a new toy. So that's kind of nice. Final water skin, yeah. So, you know, honestly, even with the partially collapsed lung, even with it, he has a decent number of turns of spear wall. So obviously these other injuries are super bad right now, but 50 fatigue, you know, spear wall is 23. So you can view it as 23 plus multiples of 8 until you reach whatever the fatigue value is. And that's how many spear walls you get. Assuming nothing else happens. Like if you know, anything else on the battlefield, like you move, you get attacked, obviously that all accumulates. But this is sort of like idealized scenario. So from that perspective, you know, he gets 23, you know, 23 plus 8 plus 8 plus 8 is 47. So he gets 4 spear walls. That's still actually okay for a lot of fights. Was this the toughest fight of the series so far? Yes. Yeah, that was the hardest fight we took, for sure. So he gets 4 spear walls. That's not totally debilitating, actually. And Sir Humpert with the weakened heart, that one sort of sucks. He's still gonna be more survivable than you'd think. Because with Nimble, you know, the armor kind of has to almost be fully stripped before any hit point damage sneaks through, unless there's some like wildly high penetrating damage. So anyway, not that bad. Probably equip this unyielding whatever it was. Survives 1 less hit. Yeah, basically. Akibio is his final perk point. I think we'll probably just take Hammer Mastery. I think that'll be what it'll be. And here we're either gonna grab hit points or resolve. Either one would be probably justifiable. Probably I'll grab hit points. Hello, Wolf of Sholva. Thanks for the raid. And so then we'll take Hammer Mastery, given we got this fancy hammer. And there we go. This is the final build for one of our frontline gunners. This is Oops All Guns, after all. Banner got a veteran level. And EELI feels like he learned a lot. How's the run going? You know, overall, good. In this exact moment, we took some hurt. We took a little hurt. May you see the Overwhelm Gunner? Yeah. So that's Nixlarfs. Nixlarfs has been serving us very well. Definitely has gotten some good blasting done. This is one of our starting poachers with us from the very beginning. Been with us for 73 days. The run is 73 days old. We'll just take these 3 here on EELI and go ahead and get him a crossbow and firearm mastery. Because we are going to get him a gun because, you know, oops all guns. Why not? And the team is going to need to, I think, return to a temple before we can reasonably be concerned with taking more fights. So I guess Bramaborg is the best place to do that, huh? What's our... When do we get our next slot? 2250? Okay, very soon. Very soon we will get our next retinue. Love the cannons. Me too. May just need just a few more. We're probably going to stop at our... we need 1 more, but we will stop at 4, I guess. if I have to. So we're gonna head all the way back. It'll give us an opportunity for the armors to just fix up so we don't have to swap them out anyway. Team needs to pray in the temple for the other Ciatin fight. Yeah. I mean, you know. Alright, and we will definitely heal all of these injuries. Or, you know, get them treated. And we're gonna make another path through the wilds. We're not done yet. You thought we were gonna do, you know, something else? Oh no, we're gonna make another pass through the wilds. That'll be the plan. Okay. Sale prices, you know, again, still decent, good enough that we'll go ahead and clear the inventory. Might be able to get the card upgrade here after selling this stuff. We'll see. I think someone needs a dagger. There's someone who didn't have... Oh yeah, it was Eagledub. Do I even want him to have a dagger? Maybe not. Oh yeah, I took them off of... Yeah. Everyone loves to see a giant false allergy, don't blame us, haha. No. I understand. Believe me. I understand all too well. It's exciting, right? I like excitement. Isn't that a Taylor Swift song? I don't know, probably. She has like a 5 bajillion songs, right? I counted, 5 bajillion. All I know is, despite not being a T-Swift fan, like generally, when I do hear her music, incidentally, I do tend to like it. Shake It Off is like a very fun song. But yeah, overall, you know, none of those injuries that we received are debilitating. Are they bad? Yes. Do they make the characters unusable? No. I think especially the Weakened Heart, this is one you can definitely play with. The Partially Collapsed Lung, for a lot of builds, we kind of don't care about. This build, we do. That one kind of hurts. Regardless, the team will persevere just fine. Slow-mo of all your serious deaths all too well. Yeah. Each individual bro that falls, just like one moment of death, 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 death. Set to a soundtrack. I kind of love that. It'd be obnoxious to edit, to sift through all the content, but I do sort of love the idea. If I had infinite time, that would be a fun thing to do. We have a net here. Thanks for the net, dude. Do it in Battle Bros sound font. They don't really have a sound font though. It's kind of, I mean, I could try to find their libraries they used. I think a lot of it is recorded instruments though. Either that or like really well done samples. It's kind of hard to tell the difference. I think a lot of it is real instruments though. And the reason I can tell is a lot of them are not quite tuned to like A440. That tends to happen more with like real instruments. So some of them are out of tune, but they sound correctly out of tune. Like they all sound good. So that's why I think a lot of them are live instruments. You can also like hear the string squeak on the guitars, and in the cases where you hear the string squeak, it lines up. Like as a guitarist, I know that that's correct. So anyway, that actually is where I'm going to call it for the evening. I've got date night with the wife, and so our buddy Slug is playing. You love to see it. And so to all of you, we're practically interchangeable anyway. It's a similar type of content. Have a wonderful day or night wherever you are in the world. Ta-ta.